Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Hey, Alexia, how are you doing?
Hi, Foster. I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing great. So, Alexia, do you know what we're talking about today?
Business podcasts.
Talking about business.
Business.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, a lot of people in English, when you're really talking about like making money, we say business. Yeah, I would not recommend doing that. Anyway, so Alexia, as you know, we love podcasts. We think podcasts are the future of education, and we record podcasts every day, and we listen to a lot of podcasts. Probably I listen to more podcasts than you. But now that we're learning about business, because we want people to listen to our podcast and we want to eat food and things like that, we are starting to listen to a lot more business podcasts. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Yes. In other words, I'm listening to a ton of business podcasts. Alexia's just getting started, and today I'm just going to give her some of my favorite recommendations of the top 10 business podcasts.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Okay, so these are not in any order because that is just too difficult. I can't decide which is my favorite, but without further ado, the best 10 business podcasts to improve your business English and improve your life in general. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
Oh my God, you're gonna do that, right?
Can I get a drum roll, please? Okay, the number one podcast, or the first podcast that we're going to talk about today, is Planet Money.
Planet Money.
Good title, don't you think?
Me lembra do Planeta dos Macacos.
Yeah, nothing to do with Planet of the Apes. Totally unrelated. Alexia, have you heard of this podcast before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about it. This is a podcast from NPR, National Public Radio.
Which you love.
I love they are kind of the pioneers of podcasts because they started with public radio a long time ago, and they're pros. They're professionals. Okay?
Okay.
The production, everything is incredible, but the idea of the show, the way that they pitch and sell the show to the listeners, imagine if you could call a friend and say, hey, meet me at the bar tonight and tell me what's happening with the economy.
Well, it's easy and it's a normal conversation, I think.
Yeah, but imagine, Alexia, if I called you and I said, hey, Alexia, we're having a date night tonight. We're going to talk about the economy.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like they make the economy look easy.
Kind of. So really the idea of the show is to make it fun. So they use crazy stories about what's happening in the economy, really like things that you don't imagine that they're talking about business and finance and economics, but you're learning a lot about business, finance, and economics. They're great stories, and really it does not matter the topic. It's always interesting.
True.
So, for example, one time they produced T-shirts for Planet Money, and they followed the T-shirt from every single step of the way, and they did like 20 episodes about it. Like they visited Indonesia to see what was happening when they were getting made and all of these things. And it was hilarious, and it was really funny.
That's awesome. I'm super interested in.
I'm super interested
in this podcast.
Perfect. And with all of these podcasts, we're going to give you a recommended episode, which is just a good place to start. And mine would be an episode called How 4 Drinking Buddies Saved Brazil.
Did they?
Yes, it's crazy. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really talking about when Brazil changed from the Cruzeiro to the Real. And there's a crazy story behind that. And it's awesome. I had no idea. And everyone was drunk the entire time. It's really cool. I recommend everyone listens to it.
Nice. Is it too difficult? Beginners can listen to this.
Yeah, so all of these podcasts are designed for native speakers. So some are more difficult than others. In general, Planet Money and all podcasts by NPR, they speak pretty slowly in a standard radio voice. So I would say not super, super advanced, but definitely advanced.
Cool.
Cool?
Cool.
Are you ready for the second podcast, Alexia?
Yes, I am.
Well, then, can I get a drum roll, please? The second podcast we are talking about today is the Tim Ferriss Show. Do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
I have no idea.
Really?
Should I know him?
I feel like I talk about it a lot.
Maybe. But you talk a lot of people, so I have no idea which is which.
Alexia doesn't listen to me. It's okay.
Hey, I do.
No, it's okay. So Tim Ferriss, he is kind of an entrepreneur and investor, and he really became famous because he wrote a series of books. The first one was the 4-Hour Work Week, and then the 4-Hour Body, and then the 4-Hour Chef. So the 4-Hour Work Week is kind of just how to optimize everything in your life. So he's a really good marketer, and I was not too excited when he started a podcast because it's a lot of marketing stuff, but the podcast is not like that. So the podcast is just long form interviews with really interesting people.
Nice. So he always has someone to interview.
Yeah. 95% of the times. Sometimes he does a solo episode, but why I love this is because it's just two people talking, and each episode is 2 hours long.
Wow.
So it's great if you have a long commute going to work, or if you're just going on a run or a walk, and you really, really get to know somebody.
And it's always different areas, right?
Yeah, totally random. Sometimes it's about investing, sometimes it's not related to business, sometimes it's about athletics, sometimes science. Super interesting. And you can pick, he has a lot of episodes, so you can pick which ones you like, which ones you don't like. But the long form interview format, I think, is perfect for learning English because you only have one person talking at a time, and it's really slow, and you really start getting familiar with the person's voice.
Perfect.
Does that sound like something you would like to interview?
Yes, to interview.
No, to listen to?
Yes, it would.
I don't think that Tim Ferriss is going to come on Inglês no Rádio anytime soon.
Well, anytime soon, because one day we'll be there.
Yeah, he does speak a little bit of Portuguese. So. Yeah. So an episode that I would recommend is they have an episode with Joe Gebbia, who is the co-founder of Airbnb. I think most people know we are big fans of Airbnb, but the story of the company is amazing. This guy, Joe Gebbia, he is an amazing storyteller. He tells a story about he was one of the guys at a basketball game that cleans the floors and gives Gatorade to the players. And he was one of those guys for the Chicago Bulls in the 1990s. And he said during his first game, he accidentally spilled Gatorade all over Michael Jordan in the first game. And it's really funny. Okay, Alexia, are you ready for the third podcast of the day?
Yes. So
the third podcast we're talking about today is How I Built This.
How I built this.
Have you heard of this?
You told me about it.
Yeah.
Numbers of times.
Yeah, I would say many times.
But this expression exists.
You could say a number of times.
A number of times.
Yeah. A number of times or numerous times.
No, a number of times. It's easier.
Yeah. Most of the time, I would just say many times.
Okay.
Or you told me about this a lot.
Okay.
Okay. So How I Built This is produced by TED, like TED Talks.
Mm-hmm.
So the production quality is out the roof.
Yes, it's outstanding.
Do you understand out the roof?
Outstanding. Very good vocabulary.
Yes, very good associations. So do you understand out the roof?
Mm-hmm.
That just means really good.
Yeah,
You can
high
also say
quality.
through the roof. Yeah, same thing. So this is very similar to Tim Ferriss, kind of. With how I built this, the host, who is also the guy from TED, he interviews people from really famous companies. And he talks about how they got started, what were their biggest problems, how they found success, what advice they would give. And it's always fascinating.
Nice. And it's like just like Tim Ferriss with all areas of expertise or anything like that.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
very good with vocabulary today.
yeah, you're doing great. Kind of, but it focuses specifically on businesses.
Okay.
So this is 100% business. And again, you can kind of pick and choose. Like if you just look at the list on the podcast, you will see some businesses that you really already recognize, and you will think, oh, cool. I want to learn more about them.
Nice. Uh-huh.
So, for example, they had an episode about Kate Spade shortly before she passed away. That was very interesting and now very sad. They have an episode about Lululemon, the yoga pants,
Yes.
which I know you would like.
So expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. Anyway, one of my favorite episodes is about Warby Parker. Do you know who that is?
No idea.
That's a glasses company, but they have a really cool business model where they sell cheap glasses. They started in New York, but for every time they make a sale, they give a lot of that money to do these really cool programs in places like Guatemala and maybe even in Brazil.
Glasses, you say glasses.
Talking about eyeglasses.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So normally glasses, you just have to use context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, how I built this, great show. Think
Nice.
it's something that you would be interested in?
Yes, everything.
Cool. You think maybe we could listen to it in the car on the way home today?
Yes, we can. If I pick up the episode.
Okay, you can. Maybe. We'll talk about it. Okay, and so the last one of part 1 of the top 10 best business podcasts that you have to listen to is, let me get a drum roll, please, Alexia.
No, this one was horrible. I tried anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if that would technically be considered.
Let me try it again.
So this is actually, I think if I had to say my favorite business podcast, this is the one. The name of this podcast is Tropical MBA. Kind of a stupid name, but a wonderful show. So this podcast is just about location-independent entrepreneurship. That is a mouthful. Do you understand what that means? Location-independent entrepreneurship? Think about the 3 words. Think about location.
Location, okay. Localização. Independente, entrepreneurship. Okay, but it doesn't make sense for me.
So, location-independent entrepreneurship is a fancy way to say internet businesses, pretty much. But really, location-independent means that you can work from anywhere in the world.
Just like us.
Yes. That's why I'm very interested in this show. So this show is just 2 guys. They are very funny. It's not about like big businesses like Facebook or anything. They give you great tips about how to start a business from your passion, how to make money online in simple ways. And the guys are really funny. It's interesting. They have good guests. And actually, the host of the show, he's originally from Pennsylvania, I think, but he went to university here in South Carolina.
South proud.
Yeah, he went to Clemson.
Nah, not that proud.
Yeah, Clemson is the rival school of my university. Anyway, I would highly recommend if anyone is hating their jobs, listening to Inglês no Rádio in the office, maybe Tropical MBA will give you some motivation.
Yeah, só não pede demissão logo depois sem ter plano B. Então,
yeah,
that's it.
That's debatable. Yeah, always good to have a plan B. Okay, Alexia. So tomorrow we will have the next 5 in part 2 of our top 10.
You didn't say any recommended episode for this.
Oh, there's so many. So one episode that I would really recommend is just 9 tough truths about business.
About running a business?
Yeah. So just things that you will never learn in business school that they tell you, which I thought was really interesting. And another one I love is called the 1,000 day principle.
Nice.
So, the 1,000 day principle, just really fast, it's pretty much if you start a business, it will take you 1,000 days to replace your income from your normal corporate job.
Cool. So, if I could say from this first 5 episodes, I would definitely start with how I built this and tropical MBA.
Awesome. Cool.
My 2 picks.
Cool.
Picks, sorry.
Nice. Okay, Alexia. So we need to get back to work and do some business, but tomorrow we'll be back with the next 5, learn more about some business and improve our business English.
Nice. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.